He's down on his luck, his pockets are near empty. He's sleeping in his truck. The rodeo next Friday, his bills are past due. How he'll pay for entries, he ain't got a clue. He's a cowboy, it's his turn to ride. He prays for a second when they shout outside. His future is uncertain, his past he can't forget. He's just a hard luck cowboy, life hasn't broken yet.
Welcome back to the horse. We're back over here at Wolf Trap Pond. This is a Howard stud, 3.
Almost 2.
And he's really considered a stud now because he sort of got away from everybody one day and accidents happen. But anyhow, so I'm here more or less go through, and because he's going to eventually, y'all be seeing a lot of him. And but right now I'm just going to actually see what I'm going to have to deal with and give Ray some recommendations with him. That's basically what we're doing. And the first thing I saw with Ray, and it's not Ray's fault, there's no blame here, but he's got a tall fence with electric wire, I imagine, on the inside. But what he needs to do, so he's not in, so it feels like he's so much in isolation, is run another tall fence about 6-8 foot off the other one, so the mares can come up and he can see them, but the mares are not going to get there and antagonize him and squirt at him and everything else and get this boy's hormones. In the long run, this boy will be better off. And when I get him over our place, you know, he'll be able to smell the horse next to him. He'll be right by the water, and I got to ramp up that stall a little bit around the water so he doesn't get hurt. And now, well, Ray, here, Ray, just lead him around the round pen. That's the best way to do that. There. Now, when Ray was coming up, he was really keeping an eye on his horse, and he was trying to keep the horse in position, which is fine and dandy. But where this horse is training at right now, personally, I wouldn't worry so much about position. I'd just worry about controlling his feet. Because with him fresh this morning and everything, you know, him being a 3-year-old, you know, he's not going to be paying attention. So Ray had about a foot. Now, the difference in me and Ray, I'll have to make believe. Yeah, I know, you don't know me. We'll probably have to do a little bit make believe because he's starting to calm down a little bit now. But I'm going to leave myself plenty of rope here. Now, if he started walking ahead of me where he's at right now, watch yourself, Ray. Watch yourself, Ray. I'm just going to move his feet. I'm going to control his feet. I'm not going to worry about him being in position right now. So if you're working with him before he gets out my place, when you're walking him, number one, quit looking at him and just walk. Now, if he tries to get ahead of you, just back up and just move that hip. And that's why right now, that's what I'm trying to get to, is this hip. And also, before we start the camera going, and he's going to do it right there. He's pulling on me. So instead of me pulling at him and looking at him, I'm gonna go back here. Fine. Move that hip. There. So right there, he gives me resistance. I'm gonna go back. So right now, while I'm working with him, I'm also trying to get a read on him. Yeah, that was better. Yeah, that's better. Ooh. You're going to be a lot smoother ride than your... So, you know, Ray, when he was, Ray and Patty, they both, when he was small, they spent time with him. And you can tell you've done stuff with him. You know, you just need a fine tune. You know, number one, subconsciously, I guarantee it, and you don't realize you're thinking stud, stud, stud. You're thinking front feet, and which is understandable. But that's why I say, if you start leading him with this much line, and let him know he can move. There, that was a lot better. Because I got plenty of line here. If he does something stupid, you know, I can pick up and move that hip. So what I'm doing for y'all at home, if I pull on that, he doesn't go to it, I'm gonna move that hip. I'm gonna pull on that. Now right there, yeah, I had a pull on it, but he did soften up, so I didn't go to that hip. So right there, I'm gonna pull on it. He doesn't move. We'll move that hip. And with the stud, like when Ray was over, when we was over the house working with Raffaella, I said, this stud's going to teach Ray a lot. Ray's a good guy. I think the world of him, as if he's family. And he likes to give everybody a chance, horses and people. And I told him, when you're handling him, there's no chances. You know, especially after he learns it. You know, when you first train them, yeah, you don't want to just go after them when they don't, so what the hell's going on? But once he learns it, there we go, that's what I want. Right now, he's asking to come in. But so, once he gets it, and he's already got it, I can tell you've been, you know, doing something with him, because he's coming to me too quick. You know, for being a horse never, you know, so. Right there, he pulls. There. That's what we want. And I'm not getting mean at this horse. I'm talking his language. My job is being the head stud. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Them days are over with. But anyhow, so I'm gonna point. There. That's great. I'm going to point, then go in neutral. Point. And now where he's at, if I point, I'm going to give him, let's say, count of 2. If he doesn't move, 1, 2. I'm going to say move. Well, there. Good boy. I like you. Oh yeah. I'm liking him better and better. So there. Now here's, and like I said, I'm not talking Ray and Patty down because, you know, I know the history on him because I saw him when he was that big. But the finer tune of halter train, what I call halter train, and you know this, is if I do this, I don't want them, hang on me that much. And him right now, be easy fix. But don't pull on him. Now what you can do, like I'll show my videos, like if I want to disengage, I might pull like that. So, when he's going, pull, because his feet's already unlocked. They're moving, so I want him to find that pressure, that halter. Here we go. Pull. Then we'll pick up. There, that was better. And you've done good at teaching him to get out of your space. He does know that because I put a hand up. My job as like Ray. Number one, don't talk down to him. But, give him a compliment when he deserves it, but figure out a way to say when he does something wrong. But like I said, this is more evaluation and just, getting a feel of him. I really like him. He's got good bone on him. He's only 3-year-old, so he's an Andalusian, and what Ray's figuring out and I'm figuring out is Andalusians physically mature later. Like Rafaela, see the last video with her, she's starting to get a little bit more chest, she's starting to thicken up through the barrel, and really looking pretty neat. Oh boy, he's going to be a big boy. Now if I had a tape measure, what I would do is measure from the ground to the middle of his knee, and within a couple inches that'd tell me how tall he's going to get in hands. Like if he's, of course, that's longer than 14 inches, but let's say from there to his bottom knee, if he was 14 inches, chances are he's going to be 14 inch hands. But right now, you look at, he's going to top 16, easy. As a matter of fact, he's probably there right now. Good boy. I'm going to go ahead and send him the other way for a little bit, just because. Now, what I like about him versus Rafaela, and we both know Rafaela's got she's really high on the knee, so her stride's a little bit shorter. Now with him, he's got the action, but his knee's not so high. So what you can do with that, once he gets soft on the bridle and start using that hind end, you can bring him up, where he's lifting him up and more extension, but you won't have them short, high, like Rafaela. And I think you're going to find, we got Sassy and Rafaela. I think you finally got one that's going to be at that in between. right now what I'm trying to do, there we go, I like that. I was trying to get him to sit back. Like that. In other words, I'm checking to see how athletic he is. Whoop. Come on, you can do it. Oh yeah. You know when I smell handling a horse, you know it's good. Yeah. So all we gotta do is take that little edge off of him. And what I'm gonna do, when I get him over to the horse, here, that's better. I don't know if anybody already talked about this. I'm gonna put a big hitching post inside. That'll warm me out. Inside the arena and tie horses up while I'm working him so he gets used to it. But the way I house him, he'll, you know, the first few days I have to be on my toes. But yeah, I like him. And as far as like conformation, what people don't realize, me and Ray's talked about this, for an athletic type horse, you want the front legs to be straight, but them hind legs, you don't want them to be straight, just too hard on them. You want a little bit of cockiness, just a little bit, just tear it, because that's what actually helps him to do them a good stop and really work. If they're too straight on the hind end, chances are their hock's going to be too straight too. So somewhere down the road they're going to break down. You know, that's the whole thing, especially in conformation classes. You know, they unfortunately judges are looking for something that looks pretty on a lot of them, instead of a horse that can hold up years down the road. And the way he's built, you know, and the way I see him move, he's the type of horse you can actually do whatever you want to with him, you know, because he's got that fluid movement. And no, he's not real high, but he extends easier. So that way he can, you know, like I said, get him up in that bridle and he'll start getting that front end action, but he'll extend it. And he doesn't have, of course, he's Andalusian, so most of them don't have a long back, but what I like about him, his back's not too short. It's a good length. And on his croup area, no going on. He's not gonna let me get to that hip now. He said, "You've been telling me to move that hip," but it's nice and round, so that tells you he can, you know, get some impulsion going. No, I expected worse, actually. I expected he'd be jumping up and down when you bring him over here, and I start watching him as soon as you. But, you know, I do have the advantage to knowing his personality when he was little. But that same personality he has, let's say as a weanling, we can bring that out, and that's the way he'd be. There we go. And that's why, you know, every time he puts that nose out, he's saying hi, and he's saying, "Can I come into your space?" And I'm really liking that. Like that one time earlier, he was really stressed out, said, "Can I get in there? Can you pet me?" So, you know, me and Ray, we go, come on in here, Raymond. God, we go, I don't think we've really got heavy, but shoot, how many years ago now?
20?
Yes.
More?
I mean, it's been, oh, gosh. It's been, let's keep it at 20.
Yeah, 20 is good.
But me and him met each other, like I said, 20 years ago. I was trained here at Santa Fe, and he had Elijah, who's still floating around somewhere, I hope. Unless
oh, he's still here. Yeah.
he was an athletic and good horse, but he was very opinionated. And I guess, if I remember the story right, a couple other people said they weren't going to touch him.
Yeah.
And I went out there, in just a couple minutes, I said, yeah, he'll do it. And Ray, back then, his horse experience wasn't much.
Zero.
Yeah, I'm being polite here. So, and Elijah tried about everything with me. He bit at me, kicked at me, bucked a little bit, you name it. He threw it at me. We get one thing fixed, and he said, I'll come up with something else. So Ray, here's poor Ray. He gets on this horse for the very first time with no experience except what he was coming over, because he was coming over. Here comes this old pickup truck. It backfires.
Yeah.
And poor Elijah went a little nuts. And actually, you stayed with him that time.
Yeah, that's time.
Yeah, that time he stayed with him. And then after that, one time, it was during, by this time of year, Ray was on Elijah, doing a nice little quarter horse lope. And Ray, when he was a doctor, and I could always tell him when something's wrong with Ray, or too much out of the office, because poor Ray's mind be somewhere else. And Ray's sitting this pretty quarter horse lope, and all of a sudden, Ray just starts doing this on the straight, and then next thing you know, he hit the dirt. I don't know if he remembers that or not, but I do.
No, it wasn't many times.
And I started laughing. And but anyway, we've got a lot of history together, and I think the world of him. And now he's doing a good job. I mean, the last horses he gets used to the saddle, and I put something Raphael. Now that one I had to, but I came over here a couple of times and rode some horses. He got started, and he's doing an excellent job. From where he started to where he's now, he needs a pat on the back.
You got a new friend there.
Yeah, I do.
Lucky.
Yeah, we just took control of his feet. That's it. See, and this is, as far as evaluating him, especially with him being a stud, he's not nipping at me. He's staying, and I'm sure Elijah took care of some of that way back when. But he's not nipping at me. He's just reaching out, want me to touch him, which is fine. And you know, everybody's going about to have a handful of carrots. To me, it means more for this horse to do this without a handful of carrots. I mean, how much better can you get than that, people? If you want a true bond on a horse, you know, all it takes is getting control of the feet, and don't mean having to lunge him. You know, like this horse, lucky, he's not screwed in his head like some horses I have to handle. You know, he's pretty well, he's got a good mind. He's a little bit wide between the eyes, so that means he's got some minds. He's got big eyes. So that's a lot, because, you know, the old times say, when the old timers are looking for a horse, they want something wide between the ears, as they said. Of course, it's between the eyes. And they want a big-eyed horse, because if you think about it, the bigger that eye, the more that horse can take in visually. And they actually are less to be spooky after you get them going good. And the wider in the forehead, I've handled all kind of horses, and of course now he's eating his snap. But you take saddlebreds they're sort of the Afghan of the horse world. They're narrow between the eyes, and they're not known to be a rocket scientist. And then you take your Arabs, you look at their foreheads. They're real wide between the eyes, and they're one of the smallest breeds out there. So some of them old wide tails, they are something behind it. So that's pretty much for today. Good boy. But like I said, this is more just to see what I'm going to have to deal with in the future and evaluate him. And he did a couple of little things here lately, and I wanted to see why and try to help Ray out so he doesn't do it again. And I sort of right off the bat, I figured it out. But no, he's going to be a nice little horse. Well, in his case, nice big horse. See him as a 5-year-old would be, because by then he'll be all, have a nice jaw, thick neck, and be all muscled up. Good. So, with that said, as I always say, be true to yourself, and be true to the horse, and they'll be true to you, and to my family and special person out there. Watch Jay Lay. Kate and the A, God bless, take care. Right now.